I'm going to click on Calendar next, which is the next button up. And I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that the calendar is my favorite feature in Canvas. And a lot of times when I say that, people are like, it's a calendar. Like, why are you such a nerd? Because it does so much. So if mine would just show up, then we could talk about why I think it's great. You're going to see in there that you have a calendar for every course that you're attached to. You also have a calendar with just your name on it. That's your personal calendar. So that one will be at the very top. No one can see that calendar except for you, the one that has your name on it. Now, if I'm looking here at my calendars, I can tell that some of my calendars are currently disabled. Is this because this is a smart board that this keeps showing up? Okay. They didn't have these when I was in the classroom. So some of my calendars are enabled. I can tell because the ones that have the little square next to it are filled in. And students and every user is able to say then, all right, these are the calendars, these are the assignments, the assessments, the events I want to see that are in those courses. Now you're going to see why those colors mattered, why it wasn't just for fun. They're going to show up then on my calendar and match up with the color. So I can tell by the color of how the assignment or event is showing up, which course it's in. So these that are like that slate gray color go with that Milwaukee Canvas training course. And this Panda quiz is purple, and that's hanging out in my sandbox. So this is why I had to train my students. Like, I know that purple is your favorite color, but you can't change them all to purple or you're not going to be able to tell which items go with which course. I didn't make these from the calendar. I created them in the course and gave it a due date. And as soon as I did that, it appeared on the calendar with the icon there. And so the icon is also giving information. This piece of paper with a pencil is an assignment. The one with the talk bubbles is a discussion. And then you guys are only going to use our new quizzing tool, so that will also show up as an assignment. The other kind of thing that can show up on a calendar is an event. So go ahead and click on any day in your calendar, and I'll show you how to add one. An event could be something like office hours or appointment slots. So all you have to do is give it a title. And whatever day you just clicked into is where it's going to show up. But if you didn't want it on Wednesday the 14th, you could click on that calendar icon and pick a different day. You can put a beginning and an ending time in there if you wanted to. And then down here on the calendar, it's going to ask you, which calendar does this belong in? So I'm going to put this one in my personal calendar for right now. So I'm going to leave it with the one with my name on it. I'm going to go ahead and click Submit. And that'll create that one. It'll give it that green color because that's the calendar that I picked. I put it in my personal calendar. One of the reasons why I really like the calendar is that it's drag and drop. So if I just decided that that's not when that's supposed to be, I can pick that up and move it to a different day. I can also do that with any of my assignments for my courses. So if I intended for students to have this due on Monday, but I'm actually going to extend that date to Wednesday, and I just drag it and move it to the 14th, that just reassigned that due date in the course. It also changed it on my self-populating syllabus in Canvas. And then if my students have their due date notifications turned on, they just got a notification that I changed the due date. So that's, now maybe you're seeing like, okay, I get why the calendar might be pretty cool. The colors keep it from being cumbersome. That's how they can differentiate. Right? So if you have office hours in your course and they've picked green for yours, just by looking at the color, they're going to be able to tell that that's for your course. The other thing that they're going to be able to control is maybe they don't want to see all of their courses at one time. I only want to look at this course right now because I get overwhelmed. So the students are going to be able to customize how they want to see it for them. Some students never touch the calendar. It's not what they do. Some students, this is their lifeline. Because for students, it does a couple of really interesting things. As students turn things in, it crosses off on their calendar. So it's a really nice way for them to tell at a glance, what do they still need to do, what's already been completed. For instructors, it's going to cross off your calendar when the due date has passed and you're all done with your grading. So that's how Canvas is letting you, you're done with that. But students can start their day from here, and a lot of them do, because I just clicked on that one. I can see that whole assignment, see when it's due, how many points it's worth, and then I can click on that link and it's going to take me into the course where I can participate in that activity. There is a calendar feed down here. So if you want to feed your Canvas calendar to another calendar that you use, whether it's your Outlook calendar or your iCal or your Google Calendar, this link is going to be the active link to whatever calendars you currently have enabled in Canvas. So it is going to be live, but it's only going to be one way. Your stuff from your other calendar won't come back to Canvas, but all of your Canvas stuff can go to your other calendar that you use.